What's up, guys? Today I'm going to walk you through a full tutorial of how to use Propstream. Now, a couple of months ago, I told you that you did not need Propstream, and I purposely waited to make this video because I wanted all of you guys that maybe are just beginning real estate investing or maybe investing on a budget. I wanted you to know that you don't need Propstream just to close deals. However, I do use Propstream now, and it does make the process a lot simpler, a lot smoother, a lot more efficient, and it is a reason why Propstream, everybody talks about it and why it's everywhere, other than it's cool to talk about. Now, the first thing that you're going to see when you log into Propstream is this. So Propstream software updates, it gives you a little bit of information about the system. So you're going to close that out, and then you get a big map. So you get a map of the entire United States, so you can choose wherever you want to invest that in the US, which I think is very cool about Propstream, because for the most part, it gives you a lot of things that you may need that you'll get on the MLS. And to get access to the MLS, you either have to know a realtor or have a realtor passcode from somebody, or you'll have to become a realtor. So Propstream, mitigates all that. You don't need any of that. You just get a Propstream account and you can look anywhere in the country. Now, for the sake of this, I'm gonna show you guys in the Midwest, and we'll be in Indiana, but let me show you something. So you can have different searches. So these are all of your searches that you have, and these searches, you can actually save them. So what does a search look like? You'll go ahead and hit here, and you'll type in, let's go to Indiana, Indianapolis. And right here, as you see all the little red dots popping up, these are just all the properties that are in the city. So they have 342,012 properties that are in Indianapolis, just within those city limits specifically of Indianapolis. So out of all those, these are different. If you just hit the pre-foreclosure button, you'll get 549 pre-selected properties. Now, there's a different things that I can do to show you all the ins and outs of Propstream, but I want this to be effective enough for you to be able to decide if Propstream is something that's worth it for you right now at this very moment. After watching this, I want you to be like, okay, I need Propstream, or you'll be like, okay, it's not that big of a deal if I don't get it right now. So let's unselect that. Now, the way you're going to be able to determine that, one of the things that I thought was pretty cool about Propstream is the list building, right? So we'll get away from that. Now, with Propstream, you can find the motivated list. So your motivated list is mostly going to lie in the realms of lien holders or pre-foreclosures. But what's cool about the pre-foreclosures is that you can pick the status of it. So are they at the notice of default? Are they at the auctions, at the default release, or bank fold? Or you can bank own, or you can actually exclude foreclosures. So if you're wholesaling real estate, you'll deal with the notice of default, auctions, and you don't really need that default release unless you want to check and see if somebody got their default released, which would be good for you so you can, move the property a little easier, maybe at a different price. If it's bank owned, you're not going to be wholesaling it, and exclude foreclosures can be good if you want to have no foreclosures on your list. All right, so let's pull a list. So what I typically do, what my list look like, because I like to go, you can do the vacant list. This is a typical list, right? When I first got this, I was excited because I can do vacant lists instead of, going to vacanthouses.com or something. So you go to occupancy status and you're going to press vacant right there. Now you got owner occupied, and that doesn't matter. It's just a matter if it's vacant. And you will go to MLS status. You want to make sure it's not on the market. And MLS status doesn't matter right there. I'll show you more about that later. And then you are going to go to ownership. So you want to get something that has at least 8 years. They say it's about an 80% chance of them wanting to sell if it's 8 years. Now, you see this include unknown sales date. You're at 6,643. But I like to actually exclude that unknown sales date because you see it takes you down to a lot of different properties. And there can be an unknown sales date for several reasons. So let's go ahead and do no lien type right now. We're just going to make it simple. But with the simple list, you got to make sure that there's equity there. Now, in the Midwest, you're typically going to be buying single family homes between this price and also, 4-family homes as an investment property within this price range, typically. So 50 to 100, 250,000. Now we're at 1,808 leads. Now, another thing that you want to do is make sure that you have equity, right? So you need to make sure that there's equity on the back end of the investment for you to sell it, and also for your end buyer to have room, for their investment. So we're going to make sure that we at least have 30% equity. Now, I like to do 30% equity because there is, room there, but oftentimes when you're looking at the system in this market, if it's saying 30% equity on the system, then there's going to be more equity, once you get into the actual comps. That's typical, but that's, what I've been noticing over the last year or so. So right now we're at 1,761. And there it is. So your list is built. You can do mortgage stuff, but there it is. So then from here, you're going to select all of them, and then you want to add it to your list. Now, as you can see, I have 9,230 saves remaining this billing period. Your save quantity will reset to 10,000 at 9/22. So if you're paying $99 a month, you get 10,000 leads that you can use, and you can press, create new. And this is what you'll save the list. So you'll save this list as a name, right? So let's say, Indy, right? So that'd be the Indy list. So from there, I'm not going to save it because that's a lot of leads. But you can also save the search. So say if you just wanted to have the same criteria and take it to different counties, right? So you'll press save search, and then you'll say vacant 8 years, right? So then you'll press save. So this is how you do that same exact search in different counties. So that's very simple as well. And from here, we have to go to, my properties. Once you save it, this is where it'll pop up at. So you go to marketing list, and then you go to date created. So if you had a date created, it really wouldn't matter, but basically, right here, right? So let's just go to date created. So I have a list right here. Duplex Cincy individuals, right? So these are individual owned properties. That was the criteria of the list. So this is what you have right here. Now, say if you want to make sure that you're not getting the same list several times, as in the same properties several times, right? You would actually press marketing list, and you see how it says 2,494. So if I select all of these right now, I have 2,654. Now, what if I just wanted to make sure they're on one list? I don't want any of them except if they're on one list. That automatically takes me to 776 leads versus having, 2,000 leads. Now, the reason this is important because after this, you have to get it skip traced. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what this looks like, right? And I'll do it right here. So taking this list, I have 96 of them, and you're going to just press export. Now, the reason why is, again, you have to get a skip trace, and I recommend you guys checking out the batch skip tracing, and it helps, especially when you have batches of properties like this. So I'll put that link, go to check it out. Maybe it's up there somewhere, or maybe in the bio. Okay, now this is what it opens up like. Now, the beauty thing about batch skip tracing, you don't need all of these different, lines. So they'll actually map it for you. So they'll map all of this data, and then they'll use the heading for you. So using this heading for you, you'll be able to look and select only the lines that you want versus having to go through and delete all of this. But this is all the information that comes in it, right? So you need all of this information in order to get the actual address of the property, in order to get the actual phone number, of the property owner. Okay, so now that you know how to pull a list, how to download a list, and export it to be able to skip trace it, now what you need to know is how to get comps, right? Because this is actually good for two different reasons. It's good for this reason right here, to pull lists, get lists, but also Propstream is very good for how to find comparable properties, right? So let's take this list right here. Maybe you got the property 3054 Auburn under contract. And this is how it looks if you got it under contract and you want to see maybe who's the owner and stuff like that. So everything that's typically on the county site, which is another great thing, because a lot of counties, they have a different interface, and it can be difficult, challenging to maybe figure out the network or how the other counties work. Instead, using Propstream, you can bypass all of the different counties and you can stay right here, and you got all the information you need. So this is the tax assessed value. everything you need right here. And then if you want to figure out transfers, who bought it before you or who bought it before them, you look right here. Linked properties. So this shows you what other properties are associated with that property owner. And they have, $7 million out on loans from these properties. And that lets you know that they're buying, you can see what other properties they are buying. So then you have comparables and nearby listings, and we're going to get to that, but let me show you this MLS. So you can see it's now on the MLS. It actually just listed a couple days ago at 135. This is the description, and you can see the MLS details all right there. And then cash sell shows you this. And documents and reports, I really never use this one, but you can use it. It just gives you different things that you can print out or draw up, given to a different client, to your end buyer. All right, this is one of the main reasons I use Propstream, truthfully, guys, is because of this right here. So look at it, take notes, and decide if it's for you. So right here, you can see this is our subject property, 3054 Auburn Road. Now, its estimated value, Propstream has it at 120, and Propstream value is typically close to Zillow, but oftentimes it's lower than Zillow value. Mortgage, they don't have any information on that. I guess it doesn't have a mortgage. They're pretty good at getting mortgage balances if there is a mortgage. They're pretty good at that. And then $136,000 is the average sale price out of 37 comparables. Now, I recommend you guys pull quarter mile comps because you can see right here, these are all the comparables, right? But you see how spaced out they are. You got some major intersections right here. So you see that major intersection right there, another major intersection right here. So your real area is going to be in between those major intersections. So about right there. So you can draw it out right there, or you can do right here, press 0.25. Now, quarter mile comps are going to be more accurate, right? Because you see the area that you're in now. Now you're all within that little square rectangle right there. So now let's see what we got. Now let's say we know it's active at 135, but we don't know, right? We don't know what other investors are buying it at. We want to see what other investors are buying it at, right? So what are they buying it at before they fix it up and put it back on the market? Now, right here, you're on the MLS. So this is typically what either you're selling the property, with a realtor, and it's fixed up, or maybe you're selling it because you were living there for some time. Either way, you're looking to get the most for your property. So investors typically are not buying at this price, right? They're going to be looking at the public record. So what you want to go, oh, well, Indianapolis is a non-disclosure state. Public record sales price estimated to non-disclosure. Oh, this is actually good then. So Indiana is a non-disclosure state, it says. But it doesn't look like they are, though, because it's showing me public records right here. So they are, okay, I see it actually. They're estimating it. So, guys, this is a great learning experience. Public record states, right? Some of them, they give you estimates like this, right? They're estimating which one. Now, in Mississippi, which I'm actually going to show you guys, in Mississippi, they don't even give you estimates. This all strictly off MLS. But in Indianapolis, they give you estimates, right? So this is cool. So we can go continue. You see public record. So on the public record, it's going to show us what the investor is purchasing the property for. Oftentimes, the investor is not going to buy it on the market, on the MLS. So we wait for that to load, and it'll load here in a second. But let's go ahead and check out another one. 3150 Chrysler, 3130. Check out 3130 Chrysler. See, it's not on the market. 25 North Fuller. 31. So they bought this. So it failed back in March of 2021. They bought it back in February for cash. So they tried to do a quick. So this is good, guys, when you see stuff like this and you know it's popping, right? So they bought it from this Northgate Development Group, right? For 115. Maybe this area is a hot area, so maybe Northgate didn't do much to it, or maybe it was a rental. I think it was a rental. That's just my guess. So rental at 115, and then they try to throw it back on the market. Let me see what the MLS says. Oh. There it is. It says fell. I guess it's not showing me the listing of it, but fell, expired, active. So they listed it. They had it listed back in September. So they bought it and listed it. So back in September, they listed it at the 89 and tried to raise it to 94. And that is actually don't make sense because they said they read a different one. Let's try a different one, guys, because that one don't make sense. All right, 3130 Chrysler Street. They're living here. Press me 3130 Chrysler. Let's see if we can find an investor. That's what we're looking for. Strat 3. Whoa. So this is probably a package deal, 625,000 different, packages. Okay. I think we have an off-market official one right here. And this was back in April. And these like different colors are showing, the system is showing which ones they think are most like your subject property. So that's in my experience what those colors mean. All right. Now, I can tell you for me to get comps with this system versus doing it without this system is a major difference. Okay, so this is an investor right here. So without this system, I'll probably, to get official comps, it would probably take me about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. And that's if I want to, depending on how uncertain I am based off information, an hour. If I'm pretty certain based off the information that they gave me, if I'm pretty certain about that, then it'll be about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, 15 if it's just a no-brainer, 30 minutes if I got to figure out specific comps and figure out specific buyers, kind of like this one. So this one, and it went faster. I'm going to use this one as a reference, though, because I would actually want to find about 3 different buyers like this to get my official asking price or my official selling price, official offer to my, seller. So this one, we know that this is a cash buyer, right? Because for one, it was right here in the public record, and it had an estimate right here. You see? So we know that they're cash and they're estimated at 103. So we know that he's a cash buyer as well because he's out of state, mailing address, right? So from here, we got 3-bed, 925. So this is how it compares to our property. Our property is a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,025. And we don't know the lot square footage of our property, but this one is 6,000. And we don't know how many bathrooms it got, but probably 1 or 2. But we have another bedroom. So right here, I would want to see this one, and I would want to see the condition of this one. And depending on the condition of mine, I'll go ahead and click on this while I talk. Depending on the condition of my property, then I would offer, just looking at these basic numbers right here, I will be offering that seller, I will be offering him, I like to have him, at 80 is what I would like to have him at. Just looking at these very basic numbers. And this one right here is a live-in, right? So it looks like they're living in because it's the same address of their subject property. But let's see. Yeah, they financed this, right? So this is that's what that is, a finance. So it will make me wonder what's the condition of our property, right? So let's say for the sake of this, let's say our property was decent condition, roof, furnace, hot water, AC, everything under 5 years. And I see what I'm seeing right here. Now, that 103 makes me believe that that was a property that was lived in. I believe our ARV is going to be around 150 just because looking at, we got an 875 right here. We got a 975. Ours is 1,000 square feet and 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. So I'll say 150, and that'll be even being a little conservative on the ARV. And then for an offer, our seller, if they were to say, I need 85,000 or something like that, right? And it's in, that type of condition I just explained to you, then that will be a great deal. You get it at 85 and you'll sell it off to your end buyer at about 100, depending on, what's needed. So yeah, that'll be a great deal for you guys. But it depends on the exit strategy as far as everything else. But that video this isn't for that, right? This is just for you guys to see how the system works. So now that you know how to get, everything that you need to see, we'll go ahead and move on. And real fast, just to show you guys something. Let me see. All right. I want to show you guys this real quick. So Cincinnati, it is a disclosure state, so you see everything. For this property right here, let's go ahead and let you check out this. So you see that little thing doesn't pop up. So this little message right here doesn't pop up, and everything you see right here is what you get. So you press both, and there's no estimate. This is what it actually is. So you'll be able to figure out, see, like right here, there's no estimate. This is what it actually sold for off the market. And you'll be able to know what your county is based off several things. You can call your county, you call your state, because counties can actually be non-disclosure within a state. So make sure you know all these things before you pick out your subject market. It's not that it's difficult. It's not that it's just impossible to close a deal in a non-disclosure state, because people are doing it. However, as you can see, there's certain type of guessing, certain type of things that you got to go through, right? Now, that's that. I want to show you guys one last thing when it comes to finding you some cash buyers. Excuse me. One thing that you can do, if you just press these little things up here, the system automatically segments it out. So you can press cash buyers, and then these are all people who bought for cash. And you can, manage the sell date of it. Maybe you want the sell date to be sooner. You'll go like that. So you can see right here, 2021, these are all cash. And it shows you the different types. And then also you can do, different property types, single family, so you compare only single families, or you can do, so on and so forth with multifamily and other things like that. So, guys, that's just something for you to think about as well when it comes to, to figuring out if this system is for you. I can tell you the big thing for me was the list, right? Because to be transparent with you, once you pull a big list, unless you have a nice power dollar or something like that, you're going to be on that list for a little second. So being able to pull that list in bulk versus having to constantly get lists, it was able to help me pre-plan my days and just get started right to work. And also you don't have to hand dial it because you have all of these different leads, right? So that's a great part about it. Another pro about it to me is the comparables, the fact that I am able to draw comparables, right? So I'm able to get my comps in anywhere, any state without the help or use of a realtor or a realtor log in to the MLS. So that is amazing. And another, I guess final pro for me when it comes to using Propstream is going to be the fact that, you can, again, do this anywhere and you can pull several different kinds of lists anywhere, right? You can have, ownership, you can have liens on the property, you can get, MLS listings that are just canceled, just expired listings, everything that you need. I actually was a realtor and I found myself using this even as a realtor just because I knew how to use it coming from being an investor, and also because it had just about everything that I needed from a, real estate point of view. So that was an amazing thing. And I guess the cons for you guys, for me specifically, the cons, and there's also other things you can do as far as skip tracing campaigns, all these other things, but I don't use Propstream for that. But the cons for me is going to be that when you pull a list off of Propstream, this is like my number one con for real from Propstream. When you, pull a list from Propstream, you're not able to check the owner, right? So you're not able to filter it by the owner. You can filter by property address. So again, the same address can't be on different marketing lists. You saw like how I put one in. But if that same property owner owns several different properties, then you cannot filter. And that's one con, a huge con, because if you have somebody that owns 20 different properties, you'll end up calling them, especially when you're using batch skip tracing, because that's a con of batch skip tracing. You cannot edit the actual property owner. You can only edit the address. You can only filter out address, not by property owner or property name, owner name. And guys, truthfully, I don't have any other real cons about Propstream. Like, I know I made a whole video about you do not need Propstream. Go ahead and check that video out after this video if you feel like you don't need it. But the thing is, you don't need Propstream, but it is an amazing tool to have. So again, my only con is the one I just named, but I don't really have any other cons about Propstream. The price is great. You get $99 for everything that I just, showed you guys, $97 for everything that I just showed you guys. That's amazing. So, you just got to ultimately decide, do you have the budget for Propstream? And also, is it worth it? Are you doing enough business right now to actually utilize Propstream? That's a big thing, right? So like me, as you can see, I had like 9,000 properties left, and it's September 14th, and my stuff renews on the 22nd. So I just paid $97. I downloaded about 600, 700 properties throughout this period. But that's, to be truthful, what I use Propstream for, again, mainly for the comparables, being able to draw comps. And I do use it to get properties as well, but the comparables are the main thing. So you got to just decide if it's worth it for you. If you feel like it's not worth it, or you feel like maybe it is worth it, but I feel like I can get by without it, or how do I get by without Propstream, go ahead and watch this video right here. You do not need Propstream. I give you guys all the information on why you don't need Propstream, because truthfully, you don't. You just have to be willing to put the hustle in to do it, because they just make it easy for you. So you got to put the hustle in, the time in, all right? So click that video right over there. Make sure your heart is in every step, and you are already a success. Guys, as always, get to stepping.